You work hard, get good grades, go to college.
I want to go to college.
I got good grades.
I overachieved.
That's right, she did.
Debt is good?
Debt is so good.
So much debt.
I can totally save up and buy a house and start a family.
I want a family.
Oh.
Starting a family means you need 2 or 3 jobs.
You can't afford to buy.
Oh.
You can't afford to rent.
Used cars cost as much as the new ones.
Oh.
Gen Z, the entitled, oversensitive, don't want to work TikTok generation. Everywhere you turn, there's always someone bashing us. But what if I told you we might just be the best generation? You see, every generation faces challenges. Whether it's the boomers, Gen X, the millennials, each era came with its own issues. But see, a lot of the issues that Gen Z is dealing with have never been seen before. We were born smack dab in the middle of a digital revolution. We saw the transition from those huge box-like TVs with the antennas to flat screen TVs. People went from using these huge phones that look like 2-ton bricks to using these small phones that can fit in your pockets. But all that aside, we grew up with easy access to the internet. And see, that's a gift and a curse. Because yes, we might have access to almost unlimited information at the tip of our fingers, but none of us can relate to the phrase ignorance is bliss. Whether it's climate change, air pollution, food scarcity, war and conflict, poverty, it's all plastered in our face. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I would definitely make the argument that it's the reason why we're all so stressed out. Why some of us look like we're in our 30s even though we're in our teens and early 20s.
I'm 25. I'm not even gonna pretend like I look like what a 25.
Digital revolution, we have to deal with a sinking economy. You see, the American dream isn't what it used to be. It's more like the American nightmare now. You see, back in the day, boomers grew up in a post-war economy where a stable job could afford you a house and a pension. You have a 40-hour work week, you work for a couple of decades, and by the time you retire, you should be set. Gen X, on the other hand, had to deal with the change in workforce and the rise of technology. Millennials were the first to feel the full force of student debt and economic crashes. But see, Gen Z, we're growing up in a world where stability is a myth. I mean, people are working multiple jobs just to get by. Work wages are getting higher, but so is inflation, so it feels like we're not even making a dent. It feels like we're literally in a constant chase for stability. The idea of owning property or anything for that matter is just wishful thinking. I genuinely believe that if nothing changes, a vast majority of Gen Z is going to be making payments for the rest of their life. And just to give you guys some perspective on how bad it really is, look at the prices of these rooms. Yes, I said rooms because I wouldn't dare call these apartments.
The apartment comes with a microwave, sink, vanity, and a mini fridge. Here's your walk-in closet with some shelving, complete with your very own sleeping loft. And if you're wondering, the shared bathroom is just right down the hall. And this place is on the market for $1,400 per month.
This has to be the tiniest apartment in Manhattan. This is insane, guys.
The bathroom is actually in the hallway, so you have to make your way out of the unit and into here, where we have this insane. This is crazy, but it's also the cheapest apartment. So for $1,200 a month, you can live in what's basically a bedroom.
Paying $1,200 to share a bathroom with the rest of the building is insane. And there's more.
Welcome to my 95 square foot New York City apartment. All the way in the back, I have my twin size bed, which is small, but it fits me. And my little table on this side, which fits 2 people seated at comfortably.
Okay, I understand being grateful. Having a roof over your head is always a blessing, but the amount of coping going on in this video is insane.
Let me show you what $7,000 a month gets you in New York City. Unfortunately, my building raised our rent, so we have to move. So this is the entire living space. This is the kitchen, which honestly cannot complain. It is gorgeous, although it is very small, but the finishings are amazing, especially for New York. It is a modern, clean, nice apartment, but this is it.
$7,000? Honestly, at this point, I just gotta blame her, because there's no way there's no better options for $7,000. And if there aren't, you gotta move states or move out the country or something. I don't know.
New data claims rent in New York City is too high for 2/3 of Gen Zers. Research from the real estate site StreetEasy found 65.6% of renters ages 18 to 25 spend more than 30% of their income on housing costs.
And you know what the crazy part is? The older generation is always giving us crap about being too lazy, not wanting to work, even though we have to deal with this shitty economy that they created. Like, what do you mean I have to work a full-time job, probably work 2 other side jobs, and probably have a side hustle just to get by. Capitalism is literally out here violating us. And I know someone's gonna come in the comments and say, oh, go to school, get a better job. But do you know how unaffordable college is? Do you know how many college graduates are drowning in debt? And here's the kicker, the job market isn't too hot either, regardless of what degree you have, whether it's STEM or not. So many companies are hiring internally that you gotta know someone on the inside just to get a job. I mean, just look at some of the things that Gen Z kids are going through.
I cannot stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that. 20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own. 20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do.
Now I want you to imagine working a 40-hour work week, having the weekends off, paying your bills and still having money left over to have a little bit of fun. And on top of that, knowing that in a couple years, you're gonna own the house that you're living in. Compare that to working multiple jobs, barely taking any days off. And on top of all that, renting the place you stay, leasing your car, or if not, getting a really beat down car, which by the way, often comes with a lot of costly problems, doing all that and still barely being able to get by. Do you see the huge difference here? I'm gonna let you try to guess it. There's one huge difference. It's called hope.
Gen Z is the first generation in America that has absolutely no purpose or meaning in life. This is why they have terms like doomers. You know, this is why you ask them, hey, go buy a house, get married, have kids. And they say, what's the point? Inflation is going to make it impossible to retire. My house won't be worth anything. I can never afford a house. My education was super overpriced. Every institution's corrupt. Everybody's lying to me. Everything's pre-decided. The globalists are controlling everything. I'm just going to be told how to live. Why should I strive and have any ambition when I've been basically reduced to a category and I've already determined that my category is pre-decided not to be successful? So there's a learned hopelessness inside Gen Z. Ain't all these old baby boomers, millennials, and Gen Zers, they're like, well, they just don't want to work hard. I mean, well, ask yourself this. If you honestly believe that no matter what you did, you were going to lose the game, would you want to play the game?
Because see, in one situation, yes, you might be working hard, but you're working towards something. You're working knowing that one day, okay, I'm going to own my house. I'll have something I can fall back on. But all Gen Z kids are working towards is more work. Imagine work being the only thing you have to look forward to. That's legit the type of economy we live in. So it's no wonder Gen Zers are looking for new ways to make money. Ways that allow them to be independent and not have to put up with crappy bosses.
Gen Z is not lazy. Gen Z just knows the game. They don't want to work for you, Kmart, for $12 an hour. They can just sell some shit on eBay or stock. Like, they got options. Yeah. I know unlimited kids I grew up with, and we're Gen X, that are not more successful than their parents. We make these blanket statements, and people believe them. Generalizations have nothing to do with you. But what does that mean? There's plenty of Gen Z kids that are working harder than anybody I've ever seen and are grinders, and there's plenty of Gen Z kids that are lazy. Good news. I know unlimited people in their 70s who are lazy as fuck. As if every boomer worked their fucking ass off. Yeah. But like these kids, like I look at them, they're fucking working their faces off. They're not lazy. They just have options. Gen Z is not lazy. Gen Z just knows the game. They don't want to work for you, Kmart, for $12 an hour. They can just sell some shit on eBay or stock. Like, they got options. You guys have options. If I had the internet and social media when I was 15, fuck college, I would have not graduated middle school. Middle school. On the record, I would have jumped out in 5th grade and be like, peace. My mom would have beat my ass. I would have run away and built a fucking empire.
And honestly, Gen Z doesn't get enough credit for how entrepreneurial we are. Statistically, Gen Zers are starting more businesses than millennials and Gen X did at their age. So are we really lazy, or do we just not want to be exploited by the same system that exploited you? And you know the crazy part is, life expectancy in America is 77 years old. And you know what's been happening on top of this shitty economy? The retirement age has been going up. The current retirement age is 67 years, and there are talks about increasing it. But just imagine working your entire life and having about what, like 10 years to enjoy the fruits of your labor? I would be sick to my stomach. So for all my fellow Gen Zers, keep being vocal about what you believe in. Don't let yourself become another cog in the machine. Keep working hard even if people from these other generations won't acknowledge you. Don't put up with BS. Take that calculated risk and keep being great. If you made it this far, I appreciate you so much for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for me. And if you want to join the 4D fam and be a part of 4D World, go ahead and join my Discord channel. And if you didn't know, your boy definitely knows how to put that shit on, so go ahead and follow my Instagram. I'm gonna be dropping heat on there very soon. All links are in the description below. Again, I appreciate y'all for watching, and gang, can you like subscribe to my reaction channel? 40 Shams Live. I know I already said it, but like, come on, gang, come on, do me a favor. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, but not for real though, keep turning me up, bruh. 40 Shams, 40 World. I'm out. Love y'all.